So today's video is going to be different. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the logistics business, or should I call it dispatch or delivery services, whatever it is you call it around your area. So I planned on recording a podcast episode detailing someone's experience with the business, how they started the business, because it's a very common business in Nigeria. And so many young people are trying to get into the business and know about it. So that moment when I was even thinking about it, when I was trying to put in calls, trying to see who I can talk to, I've even made inquiries self at that point. Then one of my friends, somebody that will even stay within the same area, told me he was thinking of also starting up the business. So I said, wow, that's a nice opportunity. So I told him I'll follow him through the process when he goes to buy the bike, everything, and I'll just be there for me to even get like first-hand experience and know how the business is actually started or what it takes for it to start up that kind of business. So firstly, when we started, I even went with him. I took some clips, and those are the clips that I'll be including in this video today. So firstly, when we got to the market, before we even got to the market, at home we spoke to one or two people, including the guest, which will be coming on my podcast. In short, at this point, we've already recorded the podcast episode, but I'll be uploading. I don't know if I'll post this video first before the podcast, or maybe the podcast before this, but either one of them, you can just try and check out our platforms to get updated on all the content that will be dropping. So at first, when he called me and said he was going to the market to buy bikes, I said okay, so I'm coming. Move, go, let's go. So when we got to the market, when we got there, there are so many bikes, so you don't even know where in particular you had to start. So we just started walking around. We met the first person. In short, the Okada man that took us there was somehow, Okada men, they like all those kind of things now. So when we were looking for bikes too, he said okay, he will show us around too. So the Okada man took us on his bike. He didn't even charge us, so for all the kind of small waka we will do, he took us from one place to the other. We saw different bikes there, and we saw prices. So one thing with going into market like this, we never had any solid idea about how much these things will cost, because you know how Nigeria is now. Today you hear say dollar don't add money, and they will just use that as an excuse to add prices over everything. Sometimes it's not actually an excuse, but it's just the way our economy is. So yeah, we're just trying to find like a stable price that we could say, okay, this will be what we'll use to bargain, like this will be our own bargaining power. So the first place we got there, the man showed us his bike. And one thing that we got to know, in short, if not because I went to the market with this guy, I wouldn't have even known about this, is depending on the kind of tire, it's like tire to plays a role in prices of the bikes. So the first bike we saw, it had a smaller tire, and we had a lesser price. I think they told us about, is it 270 something or so. I'll confirm the main prices and I'll all include them. So yeah, when we had the price of the first one, we saw the tire, and he actually showed us the difference because he brought another bike and he showed us the smaller one too. So he said this one with the bigger tire will last longer, and this is how much it will cost. Then the one with the smaller tire, the thing fit chop now, and this is how much it will cost. So when we heard from him, we left his own place, we went to the next place. So we went from one shop to the next, and lucky enough, I said we made some inquiries even before we went to the market. Lucky enough, when we got to the market, we met one guy. That's one particular shop where we stopped. In shop where we made our final purchase. Where we stopped, we met the guy there, and we just had small discussions with the guy. And that particular person I said we make inquiries from before we even went to the market ourselves. I had a podcast episode with him to El Pablo Shawarma. So he told us that this is the person he bought his bike from, this is how the whole thing is, and he bought it from inside town. So we didn't even ask to know who was the person in particular. But as luck will have it, or coincidentally, when we got to the market, the person that we bought our bike from was the same person that El Pablo bought his own bike to from. So when we got there, we saw the bikes, and coincidentally, the same shop that we went to and we bought our own bike from was the same shop that our friend, which we made inquiry from, also bought his own bike. So remember when I told you when we left to go and buy the bike, we didn't actually make like all the necessary inquiries to from that guy. because we didn't want to overwhelm ourselves with so many information, people saying go and check here, go and check there, buy this one, buy that one. So when we got there, we had to settle down, think for ourselves, and actually make a decision. So see the way I'm even talking as if not two of us get the bike. So when I got there, I was just like an arty man to him there. I just wanted to see the whole process of it. So when we got there, we saw that bikes, we saw Baja, we saw ladies, we saw Honda too. And for doing a business like this, you need to be unique. You have to stand out. So for his own security and for him to also stand out, like just for him to be unique. Baja is very common in the market. So the guy actually selling the bike advised that we should go for a Honda because the Honda to do similar, almost the same thing with the Baja too. And the Honda is just unique. Baja is very common in the market. And because of issues like theft, VIO stopping and all those Abiru and all those kind of things, so avoided going for a Baja bike. Instead, we went for a Honda. So the Honda, we saw it for, was it 289,000, and we had to do a hard bargain. No be small bargain. We had to bargain. Sure, we even started. Sure, we had lunch there, safe, before we were able to agree and actually pay for the bike. So when we did all the necessary talk, we paid for the bike. When we paid for the bike, then they brought the bike out. They did all necessary coupling, all necessary adjustment, putting off engine oil and all the rest. So when we paid for the bike, we had to wait for receipt. So he brought the receipt booklet. We did all the necessary signing. Bells had to sign, and voila, congratulations, he had a new bike. So the responsibility of owning a new bike started coming immediately, because immediately he signed it, it was his bike now. He said, oh, for you to move this bike, you need to buy like engine oil, you need to buy battery acid, you need to buy fuel and put in the fuel tank, and you need to do some adjustments. That's when my guy knew that, man, it's not easy to actually start a business like this. So we just made some arrangements and we got what we could afford at the moment. Then we moved to the next step. The next step was speaking to the guy that will actually design the box for the bike. So since the guy we bought the bike from seemed to be very reliable, and he's the same person that also did for El Pablo, we spoke to him to get somebody that will create the box for us. So the box that are normally behind the bikes, all those dispatch bikes, you must have seen them, where they put all the packages and all the goody goody. So there's this box behind it that they had to construct. So we had to see the welder. The welder saw us. He took the measurement, and we just spoke about everything that he had to do. So we also went to his workshop and saw the way he was constructing it, which I'll also include a clip of it here. So we saw how he was constructing the boxes. We also saw them doing other works there. Like all he does is just construction. Like from constructing bikes, we even saw one scrap bike there that he was able to like just put two and two together. So we're able to meet the man that was to do the box. We saw the kind of boxes he created, and we're just generally satisfied with what he did. So from there, he assured us that we should come back the following day. It will take at least a day for him to get a drum, because he said he will use the metal from a drum. Like he doesn't want to use all those kind. I'm not very technical about what he did, but yeah, he just assured us that he will give us the best. So from there, we went to the market, and we went to the market to buy leather. So if you are doing like dispatch work now, if you deliver packages, you have to have a brand, you have to have a leather that carries your logo, your phone number, and all those things. So we went to the market, we got the leather, we got them of different sizes, and they're expensive. Like everything is expensive now. So from there, when we got to the market, when we selected the leather, we bought the leather, we went to the printing press. So we already spoke to someone that was supposed to create a graphic design, a logo, and paste everything on the banner and all those stuff, just for promotion and marketing. So we went to the printing press, we saw the guy there, he spoke to us about it, the kind of design that will work, the kind of size, and he had to work with the box guy too, like the man constructing the box, because the shape of the box too, he needs the measurement for putting his stickers and putting the logo and everything. So when we finished with him, we made all necessary arrangements. In short, that guy, I think, out of all the people that did the work for us, he's the guy that came through very early. So it's not as if the remaining didn't come through early. Like they did the work well. In short, they all came through early, because within 2 days we even had papers for the machine. So That's from VIO. Like VIO office where I know if you go to do papers for vehicles, it will take days, in short weeks before you can actually get it. So, but this one, sharp, sharp, the thing came out. So from there, when he spoke to us about everything he was going to do, and we all like made all the agreement and we shake hands now. We went to POS, withdraw money, gave him his own, and we worked. So the following day he called. I think he called very early. Immediately he finished, he even called. In short, when we were not even ready to go out, he already called us to say he was done with the work. We went to go and check on the bike, and we took the bike from the because we initially left the bike where we bought it. We didn't bring it home that day. We took it to the guy that was supposed to mount the box. We saw the box was okay, and it was just perfect for the bike. So from there, when he mounted it, Bells took the bike because I can't be climbing the bike again now. It's a new bike and there's box behind. So me, I just went my own way. So I had to leave Bells. Bells went through the remaining process. They put the sticker around it and they just designed the whole thing. It was looking very good. So when he brought the bike back, in short, he rode the bike himself back home. He brought the bike and yeah, he has a bike now for his business. So feel free to also check out his page on Instagram. It's MH Logistics. If you are around Kefi, Nasarawa State, yeah, he's sure to deliver and service you well. So that's that for REIT. I think that's just the whole process we went through trying to get a bike to start up a dispatch business in Nigeria. So to get a full detail and just for you to actually know what it is, to have the full experience about it, because Bells is just starting out, so there's no much story here. But the podcast episode I'll be recording is with a friend, and she actually owns a logistics business. She will come on the show and talk about her own experiences. How far now?
My riders started with calling me ma, and then it dropped to auntie. It dropped to sister. The next thing was favor. I'm like, okay, familiarity. I've always been a playful person. Like I've always been a playful person. There are days that I talk to myself. I'm like, favor. I think you're smiling too much with these people. They might take advantage of it. But I can't just hold it.
Yeah,
You get so
exactly.
it's not easy to be a young person and to have a business running. Especially okay, I'm not trying to say men have it easier, sha. But the truth is women face more challenges in businesses like this.
Yeah, I agree.
Like men now they can be really tough. I had to even involve my dad to make it easier for me. But my dad cannot, he has his